Metal Wrestling President Stone Cold Steve Austin coming at you live. Tonight, a brand new era for pro wrestling begins. In front of a capacity crowd in the Combat Zone, we will see the best wrestlers in the world today, and I stand by that. They will compete in the 6 sides of torture. Now, I heard that there may be some uninvited guests tonight. Undisputed Era, Kevin Owens, maybe even the EVP of NLW, Triple H himself. Well, the thing about metal wrestling is, we won't stop you from showing up, but we'll damn sure send you back to NLW, drenched in blood and crying all the way home. Prepare yourselves for the greatest pro wrestling action in the world today. And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Capacity crowd, Metal Wrestling welcomes you to the Combat Zone. I am Victor Wallace, welcoming you to the first edition of the new and improved Metal Wrestling, and I cannot wait to show you what we've got in store for live here tonight. A huge main event as John Cena goes one-on-one with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We're also going to see the Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins, host an open challenge for his championship here tonight. But that's not all. We've also got the return of Bray Wyatt's Firefly Fun House. What will he have to say after taking out Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble? Plus a Knockouts Championship Eliminator, Riho and Candice LeRae set to go one-on-one in Metal Wrestling's first women's division action. Plus a face-to-face interview, Drew McIntyre and Samoa Joe just weeks away from their heavyweight title match at Revival. But our opening contest is the best in the world versus the living legend. And you hear the Combat Zone erupt for the arrival of the best in the world himself, Chicago's own CM Punk. And folks, it's clobbering time. CM Punk here with a mission to become the best, not only in the world, but also here on Metal.
His opening fight is sanctioned by Metal Wrestling and is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 225 pounds, CM Punk.
And CM Punk's a man who has had his issues with Conor McGregor recently. Ever since their brawl on NLW 100, Punk has been trying to goad Conor into a match. But now here comes CM Punk's opponent, a very controversial figure in recent weeks.
And his opponent coming down the aisle, fighting out of Tokyo, Japan, weighing in at 210 pounds, Jushin Thunder Liger.
And we thought that Jushin Liger had signed an exclusive Metal contract, and that is the case. However, his contract does allow him to work other dates, whether that be Independence, Japan, but also NLW apparently. We saw Jushin Liger on NLW 102 make a return, and well, he was decked out in new purple gear, and he attacked Ricochet after that match, which was very interesting, but well, we're getting a different side of Liger here, more sportsmanlike, as he shakes the hand of CM Punk, a stark contrast to the man who attacked Ricochet on NLW 102 in Houston. But again, it's a very exciting time. I'm not going to dwell too much on what Liger's been up to, but I will say I'm very excited to see what he's got in store for CM Punk here tonight on Metal, our opening contest here on Metal Wrestling's premiere. And the surfboard stretch applied to CM Punk, but Punk gets out of it, and a kick out from Liger and a headlock takeover. And this is CM Punk's first match since his return at the Royal Rumble, and his first one-on-one match since WrestleMania 3. Oh my God, looking for the GTS. And now Liger going for the Liger bomb, but Punk on his feet, and we're at a stalemate. And this is what you're going to see from Metal Wrestling. It is pure professional wrestling action, and the fans in the combat zone applauding the action and the efforts, and both men covered, but the bridge up. Oh, Liger with a shot to Punk, and now Punk with a shot. And now these two men bridging up, punching the life out of each other. But CM Punk floats over, and Liger, incredible core strength. Back on the apron, and now pushes him forward, and a running heel kick. A capoeira kick to the skull of CM Punk. And Jushin Liger, he's on the top rope, look out! Crossbody to Punk. CM Punk wiped out by Liger. And now taking some time to pose, and you heard the fans react negatively somewhat to Liger when he came out here, but not for that. A crossbody to the outside, and now launching CM Punk across the ring. Again, there's a lot to differentiate Metal Wrestling from the competition, folks. A more sports-based presentation, six-sided ring, and the best athletes on the planet. CM Punk demonstrating that there with a springboard clothesline. And Punk, you can tell he wasn't expecting such a frantic pace from Liger, but now he's coming into his own with a knee in the corner and the Bulldog following it up. And Liger, as he's trying to get to his feet, you see CM Punk trying to go after him. GTS coming. No! A crucifix roll up, and only a 2 count. CM Punk in one of those corners, and oh, a shote. That palm thrust right to the face. But a back elbow from CM Punk knocks Liger down to the canvas. And CM Punk looking for the elbow, but Liger's immediately back up to his feet. Liger is so quick and he knows what he's doing, but oh my God, look out! Brainbuster from the top rope. This could be it, but CM Punk kicks out. I'll tell you what, it was 2.5. Probably more than that, closer to 3, but Jushin Liger has Punk right where he wants him. Liger bomb coming. No! CM Punk turns it into a DDT and immediately locking in that Anaconda Vice. The Anaconda Vice locked in the center of the ring, and Jushin Liger has to tap. CM Punk with the victory.
Here is your winner by submission, CM Punk.
What a way to kick off this brand new day for professional wrestling with this incredible match between Punk and Liger here on Metal Wrestling. Well, I'll tell you what, another loss for Liger at the moment, but we'll see what happens right here when CM Punk hits the massive clothesline. You also had the brainbuster from Liger, which rocked the brains of Punk, and then this Anaconda Vice. And now CM Punk the victor. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I was about to say, the last time we saw someone turn their back on Liger, they got attacked. But Jushin Liger in a much more forgiving mood here tonight. Actually showing a lot of respect for CM Punk here. And now CM Punk, he wants a microphone. Wonder what he's got to say to Jushin Liger.
Hey, cut my music. I don't care what anyone says, whatever's going on, that right there is a legend. He's the real deal. And Liger, it was an honor to wrestle you here tonight, sir. Thank you. And that is why I came back to professional wrestling. Those moments of magic to see who is the best in the world. And I've got a lot on my mind and a lot to say, so please bear with me as I speak from the chest. First thing, I'm going to come right out and say it. Conor McGregor, you've been ducking me for weeks. I can't get a hold of you or your agent, so I'm going to call you out on national television. I know you've got a fight coming up against Uriah Faber, and I know for a fact you're going to be in Vegas for NLW 103, but I just can't wait. Connor, I want to fight you, and since you're not going to do it on my turf, I'm coming to yours, because Conor McGregor, Mr. Notorious, I want to fight you at NLW WrestleMania.
Oh my God, what a challenge!
There. Now I guess we wait for a response. And speaking of waiting, I am waiting for the opportunity to step inside Lethal Lockdown at Revival, the Undisputed Era. Yeah. You know what? I've been out of the picture the past couple of years. You four have been real busy. Adam Cole as well. You may have beaten Stone Cold, you may have beaten John Cena, but I don't recall you or any of your buddies beating me. So bring all you got. But wait a minute. We still don't have our fourth man, so Finn Balor. Stone Cold gave you an ultimatum. Are you gonna join us in this fight or not?
Well, ask and you shall receive. Here comes the Prince. Finn Balor, 2 weeks ago, was told by Stone Cold Steve Austin that Austin wanted Balor to be the fourth man on his team inside Lethal Lockdown at Revival, where it is scheduled to be the Undisputed Era versus John Cena, CM Punk, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and another tag team partner. And well, the question is, you know that Balor's got that match at WrestleMania against Jeff Hardy to worry about, but will he accept this invitation?
Before I tell you my decision, I have to ask, is this all of this? Is it worth it? You know, I signed to Metal Wrestling for the competition, not this faction stuff. I've got to face Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania for the NLW Championship. Should I step inside Lethal Lockdown and risk getting hurt? And then you know what? I remember what Adam Cole said to me when he offered me a spot in the Undisputed Era. He said, "You can't win without our help." And you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe at WrestleMania I can't overcome the Ministry on my own. But I'm damn sure gonna try. Because what kind of man would I be if I gave up now? So, at WrestleMania I will fight with everything I have against Jeff Hardy. But at Revival I refuse to let the Undisputed Era try and manipulate me again. And I think they need to be taught a lesson. So at Revival, the Prince steps inside Lethal Lockdown, and I'm coming for blood.
Well, we have our answer. Finn Balor joins the team, and he will be competing inside Lethal Lockdown at Revival. And speaking of Revival, folks, Darby Allin will challenge Sami Callihan for the Hardcore title, and here's the video that Darby sent in earlier today. And you get the impression that Darby Allin will do just about whatever it takes to beat Sami Callihan at Revival. And speaking of Revival, there's going to be a Knockouts title match, but who's going to be in it?
The following fight is a Knockouts Championship Eliminator scheduled for one fall. Coming down the aisle, fighting out of Riverside, California, the Poison Pixie, Candice LeRae.
And Candice LeRae here tonight with the opportunity to advance to the fatal four-way match for the vacant Knockouts Championship at Revival. But can she get past her opponent here tonight? A woman with a lot of credible accomplishments in her own right.
And her opponent fighting out of Shinagawa City, Japan, Riho.
Riho have been a standout in the women's division recently, and now looks to ply her trade on metal. But will it be Candice or will it be Riho? Find out after this break.
Metal Wrestling fans, if you want to show your support for this show, head on over to the official spring store for Metal. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, you name it. Head on over and pick up some Metal merch, and for just 48 hours, use the code METAL10 for 10% off of your order. And oh yeah, I guess you could pick up some NLW stuff too. Head on over and support the channel. Link to the NLW merch store is in the description.
We're back live here on Metal Wrestling. Riho and Candice LeRae fighting it out to see who'll go to Revival and the Fatal 4-Way Knockouts title match. And you see Riho on the top rope as Candice follows her, and a German suplex on the apron. Good grief. Candice with a vicious maneuver there. Riho on the outside. Look out for LeRae with a dive through the ropes and that DDT. Candice LeRae, she has mixed it up with some of the sport's best. That's men and women. And right there, wiping out Riho with a DDT. Take a look at this again. Spiking her on the floor and ensuring that, well, she may be going to Revival after that one. And now Candice with a mushroom stomp. Hook of the leg with a kick out from Riho. And I've been told in my ear that next week, we're going to see Trish Stratus and Sasha Banks go one-on-one in a qualifying match. That is going to be exciting in its own right. But right now, Riho with a Tiger Suplex and a knee in the corner. Candice is now in trouble as Riho hits the Northern Lights. There's a bridge, but a kick out. And look at this. LeRae right into the Gargano escape. Shout out to her husband, who I'm sure is willing her on in this matchup here tonight. But the Gargano escape is locked in the centre of the ring. Is Riho going to tap out? And tries to roll through and stomps Candice right in her abdomen. Riho dropping all of that weight on her. Although it's not a lot. She's very nimble, as you see, going for the Tiger feint kick. But Candice spikes her with the Poison Rana. And oh my god! Spike, Canadian Destroyer, but Riho somehow stretching out that tiny foot to get on the bottom rope. What more does Candice have to do? The Poison Pixie is losing it here. I tell you what, she is mad as hell at the moment, and I don't blame her. Look at this. Have you ever seen such fluidity in a Canadian Destroyer? Luckily for Riho, she got her foot on the ropes, but now it may be game over. Both women on the top rope. It looks like Candice trying for the neck breaker. But Riho with the snap Frankensteiner. And the whiplash of Candice off the canvas, and look out for Riho with a crossbody. Is she going to catch her out? No. A kick out from Candice. But immediately the meteor to the back of the skull. Here's the hook of the leg, and Riho is advancing.
Here is your winner, Riho.
And with that victory, Riho becomes the first woman to qualify for the Knockouts title Fatal 4-Way match at Revival. But I'm telling you what, if that is what we can expect from the women's division here on Metal, I cannot wait to see more action, including next week when Trish Stratus battles Sasha Banks. But look at that, a snap Frankensteiner from the top, then the crossbody. Candice thought she could kick out of it, and she did. However, the meteor to the back of the skull did Candice in, and with that, Riho advances to the Fatal 4-Way. And you know what? There's a lot of women on this roster who want that Knockouts title, including the newest signing to the women's roster, Gail Kim. Gail Kim, a legend of this business, has officially signed with Metal Wrestling. Is she gonna go to Revival as well? We will find out.
At Metal Wrestling's inaugural pay-per-view, Revival, we will see a match 1 year in the making when Drew McIntyre challenges Samoa Joe for the Metalweight Championship. My first question is for the champion. How are you going to prepare to face Drew in a one-on-one scenario this time? Well, Joey, I'm training every day. I'm not changing my regimen. I'm not doing anything different. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I don't want to take over this interview, Joey, but Drew, are you prepared for me? Because the last time we were in a ring together was the Elimination Chamber, and I beat you to win back this. Well, I'm more than prepared. Don't you worry, Joe. Why do you think I challenged you? That Elimination Chamber was the first time in 3 years that someone managed to beat me. Many people said I was the odds-on favorite. After all, I was undefeated heading in to the most destructive match imaginable. Hell, I just about destroyed everyone in that match, and that includes you. And one little mistake cost me, and I found myself in that Coquita clutch, and it was game over. But let me tell you something, Joe. You didn't beat me. I beat myself. I passed out, my body gave up on me, but I never gave up mentally. You could not make me say I quit, and I think that has haunted you for a whole year. Joe, that's a good point. Drew never tapped out in that chamber. He passed out. So do you think he may have a mental edge? What good is a mental edge when you're fading in the middle of the ring? I don't care that you didn't tap, because you were too proud to realize that there was no escape from the clutch. You've had some extra time to train, and I just wonder how much things have changed in your arsenal since we last fought. Joe, you've been very successful on Metal. Likewise, Drew, you're someone who's been a mainstay on Metal for a number of years, but you've not yet been a champion. Why do you think that now is your time? Because now, I'm laser focused. I'll admit, winning all the time, it makes you complacent. I guess that's what cost me in the Elimination Chamber a year ago when Joe and I fought. And since that day, all I thought about is a chance at redemption. Winning the middleweight title. Being the top guy. Over 20 years of working for this. Something that was promised to me way back but never materialized. But now it's my time to break through. Just you wait. And Drew, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, but face it, no matter how many people you beat, how many claymores you hit, the fact remains is that unless you beat me, you cannot break through. You're here talking about promises made to you, but no one ever promised me a damn thing in this business. I've had to scratch and claw for everything I have for this championship that I won a year ago by choking you out. And at Revival, 1 year later, I choke you out again. Hey, you keep telling yourself that, pal. Because that entitled kid he's gone. I'm a cold-hearted bastard now, my friend. And that complacency is gone. I haven't wrestled since you choked me out, and that has haunted me ever since. I have to beat you, Joe. I have to beat you more than you could possibly imagine. I don't want to think about what I'd do if I'd lost again. But luckily for the both of us, Metal Revival is around the corner, and I've got a claymore with your name on it, and that middleweight title will soon be mine. Oh yeah, really, Drew? Yeah, I'm sure it'll feel great. You'll get that validation finally. I'll shake your hand and say you're the better man, and you will walk up that ramp and hold this championship high. And then you'll wake up. And as you're staring up at the lights, hearing Nation of Violence playing on the speakers as the referee lifts your body off the canvas, you awake from your dream and you realize that you just got choked out again. And just like your hopes and dreams, this interview is over. And that, of course, footage captured earlier today when Joey Styles sat down with Drew McIntyre and Samoa Joe, and they'll fight for the middleweight title at Revival. But speaking of champions, here's a champion who has been very outspoken in his own right. The so-called Messiah, the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, and his, well, I've heard he's been called his spiritual advisor, Jake the Snake Roberts. And you know that Seth Rollins, he's changed a lot, folks, ever since winning that championship, in fact. And well, I know this man personally. I've had my battles with him in the past, and yeah, you can keep looking at me, mate, but the fact remains is that sooner or later he's going to defend that title. But what's with this open challenge?
Well, here we are. The rebirth of Metal Wrestling. And as I stand here between these six sides, I ask myself, am I proud of what I've done? After all, a snake is a cold-blooded, calculated predator. who will do anything it takes to survive. Well, before, honestly, I couldn't say if I was proud. But you know what? I have begun to repent, and day by day, I find it a little bit easier to look myself in the mirror and be proud of who I am. And you know who I have to thank for that? This man, Seth freaking Rollins. He showed me that doing bad things doesn't make you a bad person. You see, Seth is a martyr. For years, he was a vessel for all of your hopes and dreams. When he became world champion, it was like all of you became champion, wasn't it? Well, you people may have turned your backs on Seth, but he hasn't turned his back on you. This man continues to be an inspiration every day, and he is here to enlighten all of you. Look at the people you support. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'll be the first to say it. I don't care that he's employing me. I think he's a wicked, wicked man. Likewise, the CM Punks, the John Cenas, the Finn Balors. Wicked men. And what about Sami Zayn? He curses the Messiah, for he envies the Messiah. He wants the Intercontinental title back, and that's greed right there. Well, lucky for everyone back there, Seth's a generous soul, and he has two things to offer all of you. But only one of those things is something you want. The other is something that nobody wants. The thing that everyone wants is hope. But the thing that no one wants is the curb stomp you will get for failing to see the light.
Jake the Snake, I couldn't have put it any better myself. For we are here to celebrate progress, a change in professional wrestling. To celebrate the future, my vision, our vision. Now phase 1 of this mission is complete. I am your Intercontinental Champion, and phase 2 is also complete. To recruit one of the smartest minds in the business, a man who understands the psychology of this business better than anyone, and that's my man, Jake the Snake. Phase 3, however, has suffered some resistance. Yeah, I feel the love for metal wrestling. It's an exciting time for this show, but where is the love for me? Are we not on the same page here? I don't know what happened. You were on my side when I won the NLW title. Where was that energy when I won this title? Oh, I get it. It's the shiny new toys, the warriors who will fight at Revival against the Undisputed Era in Lethal Lockdown. Well, the CM Punks, the John Cenas, the Finn Balors, and Stone Colds will come and go. But the word of Seth freaking Rollins is eternal. And that is why I'm out here tonight, to make a believer out of one lucky individual who is brave enough. For this isn't an open challenge for a match. Oh no, this is an open challenge for an enlightening. I challenge anyone to come out here, anyone who wants a shot at me. I want to make a believer out of you. So who is it gonna be?
So this isn't a match, apparently. Not that I'm surprised, but he wants to convert someone, I guess. But you know that Sami Zayn is back. Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
And speaking of, that is Sami Zayn, and he's been attacked, and it looks as if Seth Rollins knows what happened to him. Give me a break.
I knew Sami Zayn didn't have the guts. Sami, you're never getting this championship back, and now you've resorted to faking injuries. Face it, I'm the best champion anyone has ever seen, so bask in the glory of Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, well, he can spout that all he likes. Wait a minute.
What the hell is this? Oh my god, that's the NLW Atlas Champion, the Limitless, Keith Lee. Well, what the hell is he doing on metal? I mean, Seth's shocked. We're all shocked. Why is Keith Lee, an NLW wrestler, here tonight?
Hey, security! He does not work here. I'm trying to enlighten people here, pal. You can't just come in. This is my show, not yours. So how about you?
Oh,
Are you done pontificating, O enlightened one? For I have something I'd like to share with the congregation. As many of you know, I compete for No Limits Wrestling as its reigning Atlas champion. And 2 weeks ago, you proclaimed to the world that any champion should step up to the Messiah himself, and well, here I am. I asked for Triple H's blessing to be here tonight, as he wanted me to come here and tear apart metal wrestling, but you see, that is not my style, at least not tonight. Oh no, Seth. I'm not looking for a fight tonight, nor am I looking for an enlightenment. Rather, I extend the olive branch and offer an invitation of my own. I see you preach week after week after week with little action or consequence. Well now, here is your chance. I don't want your gold, but I do want to expose you for the fraud that you are. Come and face me at WrestleMania.
What?
NLW versus Metal, champion versus champion, to see who really is making new believers and who is the more dominant champion. But be forewarned, Seth. If you accept this invitation, please be prepared to bask in my glory.
Dude, challenges are being levied left, right and centre here tonight, and Keith Lee wants Seth Rollins, a metal wrestler, to come to NLW WrestleMania. Champion versus champion. I really hope this match happens. I can't wait.
So now you decide to say hi? You know, we're supposed to fight alongside each other in Lethal Lockdown, and anyway, don't you have a match to prepare for tonight?
Man, we really need to talk. I'm gonna come right out and say it. I don't trust you.
Okay, what am I supposed to do with that?
Don't play dumb with me. Stone Cold can move on, bury the hatchet with you. Me, on the other hand, I'm not in a forgiving mood these days, since the Undisputed Era broke my neck 2 years ago. This is my fight, my revenge. Why are you even doing this? You hate Austin.
Correction, I hated Austin, okay? But that's in the past. You've done some pretty despicable things too, John, so don't act all high and mighty with me. This isn't about you and me. This is about metal wrestling. This is about preserving the future of pro wrestling. And you may hate the Undisputed Era, but you have to remember, they're not there for you. They're in Lethal Lockdown for Triple H, so he can take down this company. Take personal issues out of this. I'm fighting for the company.
Fine, say you are fighting for the company. Tell me this. If that is the case, how can I trust you to have my back in Lethal Lockdown?
John, you can't trust me. You can't trust Balor or Austin or anyone for that matter. You gotta accept when it comes to the wrestling business, someone's gonna stab you in the back and sell out. I'm too damn old for that now, so don't trust me, fine. But at Revival, just remember what Adam Cole has cost you, years off of your career. So just let me do my thing, and you kick his f***ing ass.
This past Wednesday, NLW 24/7 presented Points of Authority, a show headlined by a wild triple threat brawl between AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, and Finn Balor, which went all over the arena. We also saw a real-life David vs. Goliath battle when Darby Allin faced Andre the Giant. Plus, one of the biggest dream matches in wrestling, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus The Game, Triple H. Check out the full show and the shocking conclusion right now on the NLW channel.
Hangman Adam Page, Metal Wrestling President Stone Cold Steve Austin shouted you out 2 weeks ago, stating that you're one to watch here on Metal, perhaps the future of the company. How do you feel about those comments made by Austin?
Well, I don't really, he fired my manager, but, I really don't know, man. Can we cut this interview? Yeah, turn the camera off. I'm not comfortable talking about this. I'm sorry, Adam. No, Joey. I'm really not in the mood for it right now. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Don't talk to me, man.
Hey, do you have any idea how many people would kill to be in your spot? The wrestling media praises you constantly, but you know what? You were the most underwhelming signing this company has ever made. You let Ric Flair and the Horsemen control your career from day one. At least I left. You didn't have the backbone to leave. Stone Cold said you were the future of this company. The fans say that too. Hell, the reaction you got at the Royal Rumble was huge. And yet, you're back here, whining, while I go out tonight and beat John Cena. If you ever want to get anywhere here, you need to get your head in the game. Otherwise, get the hell out of this company, you ungrateful piece of shit. Why am I the future of metal wrestling? Just look at me. I'm a freaking monster. I'm war ready, battle tested. Anyone who steps in the ring with me will be left broken and bruised, and I'm coming for everyone. You come here asking me why I'm the future of metal wrestling? Because there isn't a guy on this roster who I can't knock down with a single punch on the bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. And if you didn't know before, get ready to find out. What the hell was that? Keith Lee had no business being here. Jake? Hey, get that camera out here. Hey, Ortiz. While Ivar and Eric, or whatever the hell those Vikings' names are, they're sitting at home crying into their little Viking helmets. We're here, we're ready, but they're just delaying the inevitable. Next week, we beat War Machine. We are proud, we are powerful, we are the best. Claudio, dude, did you hear? Santana and Ortiz, they think they're the next champions. Interesting, you know, boys, that might be the case if the Kings of Wrestling weren't around, but now the best tag team on planet Earth is about to knock you on your ass. We can't wait to step in that six-sided ring and outclass all of the competition. Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Hero, Kings of Wrestling ain't nothing to mess with.
The stars are aligning. My goal is clear. The moon rises and the flame is freed. A decree from your next Knockouts champion, Ember Moon.
Long time meeting again, but I'm here on business on Metal Wrestling and to send you a message. In fact, send everyone a message. I have a client. Let me introduce him to you now. He is the King of Strong Style, Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura. Welcome to MVP's Hurt Business. Hey buddy, what's up? Get out of here, I swear to God. Dude, he was just asking how you're doing. I said get the hell out. Ooh, scary stuff, Darby. You think I'm afraid? Nah, pal. We're gonna get real acquainted hardcore style at Revival, and I cannot wait to put you down. Am I psychotic? I mean, my synapses have been firing at such a rapid degree that it took me a while to decipher the code of what I'd actually done. After all, I put Jon Moxley through barbed wire, tore his face apart, left him a bloody heap of shell, and yet I felt numb. You see the Edge that was groveling, looking to forge alliances, and ultimately weasel his way to the top. He was weak. I was weak. When Jon Moxley made me tap out, he tapped out a shell of a man. And I realized Jon Moxley, in an environment as cruel as a ring surrounded with barbed wire, for instance, he would leave that Edge in the dust. But that Edge is dead. And Mox, and it's a big if you make it to Revival, you will not make it out of Revival. An exploding barbed wire death match, never before and most likely never again. I relish the opportunity to carve up Jon Moxley. I am the benchmark of sadism and violence. I will pulverize Jon Moxley. I will punish Jon Moxley. And when the timer ticks down to signal the explosions, watching the fear set in on Jon Moxley's face as he realizes his fate is sealed, I will breathe a sigh of relief that I am reborn. But if I can't beat Jon Moxley, I will stand in that ring and accept my fate. Unfortunately for Jon Moxley, that's not what I intend on happening. Free
2, 1, boom. Lights out for the Death Rider.
Some very ominous words from Edge ahead of the exploding barbed wire deathmatch against Jon Moxley at Revival. And well, folks, we're about to have our main event here, but how can you have a wrestling premiere and not include EC3's in the ring? The third, a wrestling dynasty. He's not scheduled to be out here. I wanted to come out here and tell my story, but Stone Cold Steve Austin cut my segment. Well, screw him and screw you. Now I'm talking. I outsmarted everybody and became so rich I never have to worry about money again. Which is why I find it so frustrating to see people hitting super kicks, dives, destroyers, and other dangerous moves for what?
Someone cut
Your
his
enjoyment?
mic, please.
Metal wrestling is clearly a show for spot monkeys and not real wrestlers. Well, if you want to control your narrative, you have to fight. And I cannot do that under these shackles. So Austin, screw you, I quit. And hey, before I go and have a chance to finally be in control of my own narrative, let me talk about the BS I've been subjected to. Most people would pounce at the opportunity to be in my shoes, but they...
Oh, but he just got pounced.
The alpha male, Monty Brown, is in the combat zone.
Well, it was nice knowing you, EC3. Maybe we'll catch it down the line.
Monty Brown pouncing EC3 out of Metal Wrestling. But first, here's Bray Wyatt with a new episode of the Firefly Fun House.
Fireflies? Oh boy, it's gonna be so cool to be back in the Funhouse. I've missed you all so much, but we're back now, back with all of my friends. Abby, you're looking real fine today.
Oh, stop it, Bray, I'll blush.
My main man, Mercy the Buzzard.
Long time no see, man.
And, oh yeah, I guess Rambling Rabbit's here too.
Aha, cool, dude, I love you, Bray.
Haha, shut up, Rambling Rabbit. We don't have time for that, because Metal Wrestling is back! Yeah! A show that was ended by forces beyond our control, but it's healed once more, man. And you know what this means? It's party time! Oh, I've eaten far too much party cake. My little piggy belly is going to burst. Oh man, that's real greedy of you, Huskus the pig boy. Almost as greedy as Kurt Angle was. Ah, Kurt Angle. I'm real sorry that he beat you up so bad at the Royal Rumble, man, but maybe he knew something you didn't, Kurt. And that was that you were losing your edge and past your prime. It was out of mercy. Out of who now? But you know, there's a lot of people past their prime, so-called legends, who have reached their end, whether they realize it or not. Maybe I need to heal some more people, heal some broken people, lost, dejected people. I will go far and wide. Wherever there's a broken person to fix, I will be there. I will travel to the city of sin and heal the misguided, follow the buzzards as they guide, the eater of worlds, and all I ask is this. Will you let me in? Now, Fireflies, I know you guys love games. Well, here's a little puzzle for you. See if you can crack the code. Cipher this. 18916. But what does it mean? Find out next time on the Firefly Fun House. Okay, it's been real good to see you. I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.
Oh, damn it, I hate puzzles. But insane stuff from Bray Wyatt, and also insane that we've seen the Monty Brown, the alpha male, here in the combat zone.
Oh dude, though, there's going to be so much more to come at Metal Revival, especially with this metalweight title match. Samoa Joe defends against Drew McIntyre. Will McIntyre's dream come true? We'll find out at the pay-per-view. Plus, we've heard from Darby, we've heard from Sammy, but what will happen when these two hardcore icons go one-on-one with a hardcore championship on the line? And you want to talk about hardcore? Just think what will happen when there's an exploding barbed wire death match. Never before, perhaps never again, Moxley and Edge finally settle the score, and a lethal lockdown match. We have the teams finalised. The Undisputed Era go up against Austin's team of Finn Balor, CM Punk and John Cena. And yo, the action does not stop there. We've got one more episode of Metal to come before Revival, plus a brand new sister show for Metal Wrestling. It's called Metal at the Scrapyard, featuring some bonus matches for you guys, including the likes of Ember Moon, Pete Dunne and more. Check it out, coming real soon. And we're also going to find out who's going to win our main event here tonight, because here comes the leader of the C Nation, the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena.
Your main event fight sanctioned by Metal Wrestling is scheduled for one fall with TV time remaining. Making his way to the ring, fighting out of West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena.
Well, John Cena very popular here tonight with a Metal audience. At Revival, he wants revenge against the man who broke his neck at last year's WrestleMania, that being Adam Cole. And he's back to fight alongside the Undisputed Era's other rival, Stone Cold Steve Austin, as well as Finn Balor, as we found out earlier tonight, and of course, CM Punk. But right now, Cena must fight here tonight against the American Nightmare. A man who has title aspirations of his own.
And his opponent coming down the aisle, being accompanied to the ring by Brady Rhodes, fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds. He is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Well, Cody Rhodes getting a thunderous ovation from this crowd. I am hearing a couple of boos though scattered in there. Nevertheless, I'm sure that it's not phasing Cody one bit, because tonight he's got a huge opportunity, and well, we've seen a very positive side of Cody as of late, but man, what happened earlier tonight between him and Hangman Page? Of course, they were quite the rivals last year on Metal. And Cody Rhodes basically calling Hangman Page ungrateful, saying he owned this opportunity here tonight to face John Cena. And you know what? I've got to agree with him. As you see, Cody Rhodes taking Cena into the corner, and they maintain the lockup as both men fall to the outside. And now a sleeper hold on Cena. And there is a back suplex on the floor. Well, Brady Rhodes not going to be accompanying Cody to ringside, but I'm sure she'll be watching in the back, as are many of the talents here tonight. For our main event, Cena and Rhodes. To Cena, looking for a suplex, but Cody blocks it. Oh man, though. Cody with a suplex, oh my god! Cena suplex right in front of me. The announce table collapsing in on him. And this main event has only just got underway. But who is going to win here tonight, Cody or Cena? I am challenging the Undisputed Era to a lethal lockdown match.
8 men.
We are going to end Metal Wrestling, baby.
1 steel cage.
I will beat you from one side of that cage to the other.
Lethal lockdown.
And that is undisputed.
Metal Wrestling presents Revival, live on pay-per-view.
Welcome back to Metal Wrestling, this main event in progress. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena. Cody hitting the disaster kick. And now the patriarch of the Nightmare family being taken down by John Cena. Look at the 5-knuckle shuffle. It's coming, but Cena Gets booted in the face by Cody, and now that twisting suplex. And I've just learned in my ear another big match made for next time on Metal Wrestling. It's going to be Cody's brother Dustin Rhodes going one-on-one with the newcomer Joyner. But is Cody about to be hit with some attitude adjustment? No! Crossroads coming. But Cena blocking it with a stunner. Right out of Stone Cold's playbook, who Cena will team up with at Revival. And now you see Cena on the apron. Cody's down. Cena going to the top rope. A rare sighting for him, but comes with a leg drop, and what a leg drop it was, but Cody still kicking out. And I'm telling you what, two men in the ring right now who are probably the most polarizing in the history of wrestling. And now Cena with a fight knuckle shuffle. Well, no matter how polarizing they are tearing it up here in our Metal Wrestling main event in the Combat Zone. Cena going for the FU, but Cody lands on the top rope for the Cody Cutter. But Cena kicks out. How the hell was Cena able to kick out of that? Oh my God, what a main event this is. Can we take a replay of this one? Look at this. The attitude adjustment. Cody landing on the top rope, such poison balance to hit that Cody Cutter. And it may be academic from here for Cody Rhodes. And what a slap across the face, and Cena did not appreciate that. Reels back with a punch, but Cody reverses it. And the Tiger Driver. Spike Tiger Pearl Driver to John Cena, but he can capitalize and get the pin as Cena rolls out of the ring. Well, Cody may be frustrated that he couldn't get the pinfall there, but Cena on the outside now. And I don't like the looks of this. Cody looking for something high risk. Tope Suicida, but caught out. And Cena hits the AL on the ramp. John Cena with the attitude adjustment, and now wrenching in on the STF. The STF applied in the center of the ring. Cody has nowhere to go. And the American Nightmare taps out.
Here is your winner by submission, John Cena.
John Cena picking up the win over Cody Rhodes in an incredible main event match here tonight. John Cena picking up the win with the STF. And what a night of action it has been here on Metal Wrestling, capped off with an incredible main event between two of the best this brand has to offer. First of all, the Tiger Pile Driver. Cena fell out of the ring, but Cody took one risk too many. The tope caught out by Cena, and the AA on the ramp was enough for Cena to lock in the STF, and Cody had no choice but to tap out. I applaud the effort of both men though. What a main event this was. And now Cena looks forward to Revival. Oh, wait! What the hell are you doing? Get the hell off me! Look, pal. Oh my God. Kevin Owens just tried to throttle me at ringside, and now Stone Cold attacking him, and now Austin and Owens fighting through the crowd as Finn Balor attacking Adam Cole. Continuing what they started on NLW 102, and look out for CM Punk. John Cena and Bobby Fish fighting up the ramp as CM Punk battling Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly at once. What the hell? The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, is back on Metal.